guys, so let's make some elderberry syrup. I have my recipe here. I actually already have my pot on the stove boiling. It is 4 cups of water. So right now I'm gonna add my elderberries. I like Star West Botanicals. I get them on Amazon. This is 1 serving, so this will make 1 batch. It's 4 ounces. Probably the best or the most cost-effective way is to purchase the pound size, because it costs you a little bit more on the front end, but the shelf life of these are probably at least 2 years, if not more, because they're dried berries and they'll last you a long time. Plus, right now, winter time, everybody goes through their elderberry pretty quickly because it's so good at fortifying your immune system, protecting your cells from all the yuck stuff that's going around. So yeah, you're gonna go through your elderberry pretty quick. Everybody in your house needs to be having at least like a teaspoon a day. Kids can probably do a half a teaspoon a day unless you're sick, and then you could do a little more. But I am gonna add my elderberries to my pot right now. It is boiling already on the stove. And then I'm also gonna add a couple of cinnamon sticks. You can flavor it however you want to. We're gonna flavor it with essential oils when we get finished. But I'm gonna add cinnamon sticks to the boiling pot with the berries. You could also add cloves. You could do a couple of tea leaves, whole tea leaves, and that would flavor it too. But I'm just gonna use a little cinnamon. You don't have to use anything. You can just boil your berries and that's it. But yeah, so let's make some elderberry syrup. Okay, so now I have put the berries and the cinnamon sticks into the boiling water. I turned it down to simmer. So just put it on low and let it simmer for 45 minutes. Once that's up, I'll show you what we do. You're gonna need a mesh strainer. Goes right through there, but it stops the berries. The berries are almost like a seed, so you're gonna wanna discard them when we're finished. You're not gonna use them for anything. You're just gonna get the juice out of them and that's it. And then I've got my jar. I've just used a Cricut to put the little tag on there that says elderberry syrup, so we know what it is. You can put it in a just a mason jar if you want to. And then we're also going to need some raw honey, and I'm going to use maple syrup. I don't know, I might use all honey this time. Actually, I think I'm going to use all honey. Sometimes I use half maple syrup, half honey. You're going to need, if you use the maple syrup honey, it's 3/4 of a cup of raw honey and 3/4 of a cup of maple syrup, or you could just do all honey. And then you're going to need your essential oils. You're going to want copaiba, thieves, orange, frankincense, nutmeg, and cinnamon bark. So I'm going to go grab those while this is boiling, and then we'll pick up where after it's finished. Okay, so now our berries have simmered for 45 minutes, and I set it off for just a little while, just to cool just a tad. It doesn't take long at all because you're simmering not at a super high temperature. So now I have already strained out the majority of my berries using my little mesh strainer into a bowl. So my liquid is in here, but I'm actually gonna go ahead and just double check and make sure none of the berries, this is a pretty small strainer. If you have a large strainer, you don't have to do this second option, but I like to make sure that I got all of the berries out because they're kind of like little seeds and they don't taste good. Or I mean, I guess I'm a texture person, so I don't really like that texture if I get that seed in my mouth. So I like to go ahead and double strain just to be sure. So I'm gonna go ahead, I don't know if I'm not gonna do this up super high because I don't want to splash it, but I'm going to strain again just to be sure there's no berries left in there. And there were 2. Okay, so it caught those 2 little extra berries that I missed the first time around. So I'm going to sit that in the sink. Now all I have left is my juice from the berries. So now while it's still warm, I want to go ahead and add my honey. I actually did add a little maple syrup in here. I couldn't resist. It makes it a little sweeter. So I'm going to put in there 1.5 cups of either honey or honey and maple syrup mixture. And let me grab something to mix that with and get that extra honey out there because I don't want to miss any of it. So I'm going to get all of that honey out of there so we don't miss any of it. Since it's sticky, it wants to stick to the inside of my measuring cup. Okay. Now, alright, I'm going to put that in the sink. I'm going to mix that up. You don't want your liquid to be super warm when you add the honey because you want it the honey to keep its antibacterial properties as well. So since we're using honey, and raw honey especially, this wouldn't be for babies under a year old. But your little kids can use it as long as they're over a year. Now, I'm going to add my essential oils, and then we're going to be done. I mean, how easy is that? So I'm going to use 1 drop of nutmeg. Okay. Oh, I got 2. No biggie. This recipe is not super, like, you can change it up however you want to change it up. If you like more cinnamon bark or more of a different flavor, then feel free to customize it however you want to. I'm going to use 3 drops of thieves. Actually, I'll just put in 2 since I got another extra of nutmeg. I'm going to put 2 drops. Thieves is your immune system booster. Also has clove and cinnamon in it. Copaiba. Copaiba is an anti-inflammatory, so I'm going to use 5 drops of copaiba. 4, 5. Cinnamon bark. I like cinnamon bark, but I already have cinnamon in there, so I'm just going to put 1 extra drop of cinnamon in there. Actually, 2 came out. And I'm using the cinnamon vitality. There's the copaiba, thieves, nutmeg. I'm going to put a drop of frankincense in there because I think frankincense needs to be in everything, and I said 1 drop and 2 went in, but that's okay. I'm a believer of 1's good, 2's better. So an orange oil, I'm going to use 3 drops of orange. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm just going to stir it just a hair. And I'm going to get me a funnel, and I'm going to add that to my jar or bottle, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to put it in the refrigerator. Okay, I'm going to have a little extra. This, I can't remember what size this jar is, but it is completely full. And I have enough for another small container, so I'm going to find me a small jar and add the rest to that. So this one is pretty liquidy. It will thicken up just a little bit after it sits in the refrigerator. But it's really tasty, and it tastes far better than a lot of the stuff that I have bought in the stores. I just prefer to make it myself, and it is so worth it because the benefits are amazing. So I hope y'all will make your own, or at least attempt to make your own. It is really, really easy. Like I said before, if you can boil water, you can make elderberry syrup. It's easy. So I hope you'll make your own.